Japanese broadcasters prepared to stump up $2 million for the right to show each match. It's hardly surprising that Japan have been made the most welcome of guests in South America. But what of the hosts, Paraguay? Just how ready are they? Coach Ever Almeida.
De a poquito hemos ido bien.
Bit by bit, we're getting better. We've had a few slip-ups lately, and we've been criticised for different things, but we're there and we're into the opening stages of the Copa. Now we need to show the results of what we've been working towards.
Landlocked Paraguay has incredibly never hosted the Copa America before. 5 venues are being used. 2 are in Asuncion, one just north of the capital in Luque. The other 2 are in Ciudad Del Este, which borders Brazil, and Pedro, Juan, Caballero. To say that 1999 has been a difficult year so far for the host nation would be a gross understatement. In March this year, their vice president, Luis Maria Argana, was assassinated. It threw the country into turmoil. In the ensuing protests, 7 people were killed and over 800 injured on the streets of Asuncion. Preparations on the 5 venues have, needless to say, been overshadowed by these events. All the stadia have undergone major surgery to cope with the demands of the tournament. $18 million have been spent on these preparations. That's a huge amount, considering that Paraguay is one of South America's poorest countries. The decision to spend such money has been criticised by many. But the most vehement criticism of all has come from Paraguay's most famous citizen.
Jose Luis Chilavert is Mr. Football in Paraguay, the most famous goalkeeper in the world. The fellow Sarsfield #1 is so incensed by the decision to spend so much money on the Copa America that he's pulled out of the Paraguayan squad in protest, claiming that the money would have been better spent on health and education. Controversially maybe, but then again Jose Luis Chilavert has always had one eye on the political agenda.
The people in my country ask me to become president, but I already do political work, helping the poor of this country. I don't feel the need to steal money like all politicians do.
Merely from a marketing point of view, the Copa America will miss Chilavert. There never seems to be a dull moment when he's around. But just how much would he be missed by Paraguay? What did Almeida have to say?
Nothing. Nothing.
No.
Without Chilavert, what's left of the Paraguayan team that did so well at the World Cup before going out to the tournament's first ever golden goal against France? Almeida's team has been built around a strong defence in recent times and is superbly marshalled by one of South America's best players, Carlos Gamara, who's just signed for Atletico Madrid. But the guy everyone's raving about isn't a defender at all. He's a forward, and his name is Roque Santa Cruz. Just 17, Santa Cruz has had a fantastic season with Olympia and was the star of the Paraguay team at the World Youth Cup in Nigeria. And his performances haven't gone unnoticed. He's just signed a contract with Bayern Munich.
At the moment, what I'm hoping for is to finish this Copa America in the most successful way possible, and afterwards to settle in at Bayern and do well there.
There is pressure on Paraguay to play well, but also to go on and win the Copa America. These expectations may be a touch lofty, but this is South America, remember. So for an appraisal of the current team, Football Mundial tracked down Paraguay's best ever player, Julio Cesar Romero.
It's a team which is very compact and which has a good defence, but they're lacking a lot of creativity. They're lacking a lot of improvisation, and I think that they are lacking cohesion because they are very disorganised on the pitch.
Romero, or Romerito as he's known, was part of the last Paraguayan team to win the Copa back in 1979. He was the inspiration behind the team which beat the Brazil of Socrates, Falcao and Eder on the way to the championship.
They are very emotional memories for me, and I watch them from time to time on video. There still wasn't colour television back then. Everything was in black and white, but it was full of emotion. The memories are very emotional.
The Copa America actually began in bizarre fashion for Paraguay. Almeida had imposed an all-fish diet on his team, which went down so badly that midfield playmaker Roberto Acuna walked out. Only after the intervention of several other players did Almeida back down, and both Acuna and meat dishes were reinstated. It obviously upset the Paraguayans because in their first match against Bolivia, they gave an insipid performance. Even Roque Santa Cruz struggled to find his range. The match finished 0-0 as chance after chance went begging. Paraguay were jeered off the pitch by a critical and unforgiving home crowd. Sometimes it's hard to be the host nation.
You're always under pressure. The Paraguayan people really want us to win the championship, especially as we're playing in our own country. I think it's good to have this pressure because it psychs you up and makes you strive to achieve what you want.
Miguel Benitez is the guy who was drafted into the squad as a late replacement for Jose Cardoso. Benitez, who plays for Espanyol in Spain, showed what a good replacement he's turning out to be in Paraguay's second game against Japan. He scored twice. And to the delight of the home fans in the Defensores del Chaco Stadium in Asuncion, there were also 2 goals for Roque Santa Cruz as Paraguay went on to win 4-0. His second was also a header. Confirmation of his potential and a glimpse at why Bayern Munich forked out a reported $8 million to secure his services. Needless to say, the Copa America needs the host nation to do well, so the Japan result was just the boost the country wanted. But in reality, perhaps, we should look at the bigger picture, that the Copa America is making its debut in a country which until 10 years ago was still under a military dictatorship. For that at least, the people of Paraguay